In the second focal point, we'll have a giant in the sarcophagus, using the large whale bones right around here. Here's the rough layout. I might move it up a bit. And here's the head, the ribcage, and the bottom will be covered. And it'll cover about half of the skeleton. We're back at Google looking at the reference for it. We're going to use a Roman sarcophagus instead of an Egyptian one. So the sides will have a bunch of statues on it, and the lid will be flat instead of having a face on the top like the Egyptian ones. We'll first start off with creating the skeleton and then create the sarcophagus around it. I like the skulls and the statues that surround the sarcophagus, but I think it's getting a bit too cluttered, so I'll work on simplifying the exterior. I need to find decorations that would be a good fit for the sarcophagus cover, and the most important criteria that I'm looking for is the elevation. Because Path of Exile uses a pseudo-isometric perspective, it can often be kind of hard to find the correct elevation for decorations. So here's a little tip. You use a flat surface like the shelf over here, and since we're using the valve furniture as the sarcophagus walls, we need to find a decoration that's a bit higher than it. So if you remember the criteria for decorations in the first episode, I need the correct shape, height, and the texture, color, material. Since I'm looking for the height, I'll go through the list and look for decorations that match the shape and the texture, and put them against this wall and see if they match the height. And after I'm done with the list, I should have a handful of decorations that fit all of these criteria, and we can use it as the cover for the sarcophagus. So after going through the list, I found 3 decorations that would be a good fit. The tomb, which I like the most, has a very flat top. The mossy wall arch, although the middle is a bit high, the sides can transition from the sarcophagus walls pretty well. And the mossy wall, which I don't really like because of the pillar on the top. There's also the church wall and the post, which are a bit higher than we want, but I think I can use the large pillar to create a transition. I'll use a combination of decorations as the cover. I think I'll have the cover at an angle, and it'll break, and we'll have the walkable cover on the ground. So I ended up making the cover the other way, and I only did this because I wanted the overhang to be visible. And to do that, I just put rocks underneath, and it gives an illusion that space is under there. Because these lines are a bit repetitive, I'll put a tombstone here, and it'll blend them in to the walls a bit more and give a bit more variation. And with that, I think this focal point is done. For the next video, I'll be working on the focal point around this waypoint area.